Hey Transtastic, my name is Luke, and this week's topic is dysphoria during sex. Now, I'm going to be honest, I really feel uncomfortable talking in general about my sex life or sex in general on the internet. So I'm going to just be talking in general about lower dysphoria. Sorry if that's not what people wanted to hear in terms of this topic. I will be covering sort of just general lower dysphoria, and that includes dysphoria in terms of sex and things like that as well. But I just feel uncomfortable talking about it explicitly on the internet. So I'm just going to talk very broadly. Anyway, so how I deal with dysphoria. I've discussed lower dysphoria quite a few times frequently on this channel as well as my own personal channel. It's something that I've suffered with for a very, very long time. And my main way of dealing with it is generally packing for now. I'm having lower surgery in about 2 months' time, in which case things will obviously change. There are so many different types of prosthetics on the market, some for sex, some for STP, some for just packing, and depending on your dysphoria and how you want to deal with it, that can be really excellent. I've tried quite a few different types, and they've all got a variety of different uses depending on what you're looking for. For a good 3-in-1, I find that the Peacocks were pretty good. Back when I first started packing, that was sort of the only thing that was really around. Like, the Peacock Gen 2 had just come out. That was my very first packer that wasn't just a basic Mr. Limpy. I'm ancient. The only problem was that they deteriorate very, very quickly. So that's why I don't tend to use them very much in general for a day-to-day packing thing. The past couple months, I've only been packing with just sort of like a basic packer. I pack pretty much 24/7 just because I feel incredibly uncomfortable not being able to, and I have panic attacks if I leave the house and I'm not packing. It's really bad. Having a partner that's affirming, just in general, there are obviously boundaries that you need to set. You need to be able to talk openly with your partner, explain to your partner what words you feel comfortable with, what makes you feel affirmed, I really like it when my girlfriend calls me handsome. I wouldn't like her to call me pretty. She knows that those sorts of terms are terms that I don't really feel comfortable with. It's important to be able to explain what makes you feel uncomfortable and be able to advocate and talk about what makes you feel comfortable in order to make yourself feel more comfortable in the situation. And that can also include in terms of sex, in terms of like what words you use to describe certain things, whether or not you feel comfortable wearing a binder, basically setting up boundaries. That's really important in all situations, but also obviously in that situation too. And not being able to do that can definitely affect your relationship. Make sure you're communicating. Partners can't read your mind, and although things might seem like really, really obvious to you, like certain words, for example, like my chest, like if like anyone called my chest boobs, I would literally flip the shit. That would make me so incredibly uncomfortable. Don't use feminine terms to describe my body. But, some people won't know that. You should be able to experience that your relationships are able to respect your boundaries, and you're able to set your boundaries without feeling like it's a huge hassle and a huge hindrance. And if you feel like it is, then you're probably not in a really good relationship, or a relationship that values your opinion, and you might want to consider why that is. Obviously, everyone's different, and everyone's opinions and what they feel they need in a relationship is different. A lot of the time, I'll feel just really incredibly dysphoric and just really depressed, and I won't be able to do anything about it. And my partner won't be able to do anything about it either. And no amount of times that she tells me that I'm handsome, or that she hugs me, or that she tells me everything's gonna be okay, that's not gonna fix it. At the end of the day, it's not going to fix it. I think that's something that's really important and something that's very often understated. If you are dating a trans person and they are dysphoric, you are not expected to fix it. The fact that they are dysphoric does not mean that you are in some way not supporting them enough. There's nothing that my partner can say or do that will get rid of my dysphoria. It's not their responsibility to do that. Obviously, being affirming and being supportive, that's really, really great and really important, and that can make the difference. It can make a difference. But if someone's dysphoric, you're not expected to try and fix that. That's not how it works in all situations, but obviously, especially if you're vulnerable in an intimate relationship, that's incredibly important. Knowing that some days it's just gonna suck for your partner, and there's nothing that you can do about it. There's nothing that you can do to fix it. You've just got to let it happen. You've got to let the wave ride through, and you've got to just support them and be there for them through it, because that's all you can do. And it can be really difficult. I know my partner has felt like she's out of her depth, that she doesn't know how to respond or fix it or make me feel better. But it's no one's responsibility to do that. And even the person who's feeling dysphoria, at the end of the day, you can't control it. As much as I wish that I could just be like, bam, okay, dysphoria gone. Like, that's just not how it works. Don't hold yourself to that standard either, Don't feel bad about feeling dysphoria. And don't feel like you can't tell that to your partner, or you can't express that to your partner without them somehow feeling it's their fault. Because a lot of the time it isn't. I mean, sometimes it is. And if it is, you should be able to feel like you're able to explain why and discuss that. But if it's just dysphoria, just being dysphoria, just give yourself time and you'll get through it. Because that's how it is. It's like waves. And sometimes it's worse, and sometimes it's better, and sometimes you can go through a period where you just do not want to be talked to, and you do not want to be touched, and you do not want anyone to come close. And other times, you will just want a big hug and to never be let go. You don't know how you're gonna feel. Your partner isn't able to read your mind. So trying your best to be able to vocalize how you're feeling and discuss how you're feeling with your partner is really important. Anyway, this video's kind of been all over. I've tried to sort of talk in general without being too explicit, but I also kind of like went all off on random tangents. But I hope this video was helpful. I'm sorry I'm an awkward bean, and I'm sorry that this wasn't as direct, but like obviously this isn't really something that I'm obligated to talk about, and I'm just not going to. Anyway, I will see you guys next week. Bye.